Hi everyone, and welcome to this video Some Frontier video. My name is Jay Wakefield, and here today we have the Compaq Armada 1750. Now, the last time I had this computer out, I was actually just showing you around it. It was running Windows 2000 Professional at the time, but now I've actually changed it over. And it's running Microsoft Windows 98 2nd edition. Whoops, sorry about that, please focus. And, well, let's have a look at the control panel. I've installed this, which is a Compaq program. It's Diagnostics for Windows. It used to be known as Compaq Diagnostics, but now, as you can see, HP have kind of updated the program, so it's completely HP branded now, as are a lot of things that you get for Compaq machines. For those of you who aren't aware, Hewlett-Packard actually closed down the Compaq brand not too long ago. So now you can't actually buy new Compaq machines, but the Compaq website is still up to support users. And it's really quite good. I must say this for HP, that, you know, all of HP's and Compaq's older stuff you can still get drivers for. You know, and I do doff my cap, if I wore a cap, to any providers who support legacy hardware, because I know that Packard Bell don't, but Acer do, which is quite odd actually, because Acer own Packard Bell. Maybe some of the stuff was lost when NEC took over, and then again when Acer took over. But I mean, good websites for keeping hold of legacy drivers, I would say Hewlett-Packard, and, you know, by proxy Compaq, Acer. I don't know about eMachines. I've never had an eMachines system to actually try it on. Let me think. Toshiba, they're pretty good as well. I'm not too sure about Sony. The oldest Sony Vaio laptop I have is one of the very early XP ones. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So this is, for any Packard Bell users, this is basically very much like Packard Bell system credentials, except for you don't get a date of manufacture, which is a wee bit of a shame, because it'd be quite interesting to know this sort of stuff. And it tells me here that the product is an Armada 1750. Number of processors is 1, and that one processor that's in here is a Pentium 2 processor at 300 megahertz. And I thought that badge had something on the wee coloured strip there. But just in case anyone wonders, Pentium 2 processors come with MMX as standard. 64 megs of RAM, parallel and serial ports. There is a floppy drive. Now, in the last video I was trying to decide what these latches do, And after having watched a video by Brandon Bishop, aka B Bishop PCM, I always get his name mixed up, B Bishop CPM, it's an operating system by DRI. Right, sorry, I'm having the same problems he had. Come on, there we go. These are multi-swap bays. Now this floppy drive actually died shortly after I got the machine, but I do have another one on order. But this bay, it can accept another battery. It's got a wee trick. It's got this wee door you don't really notice, but it opens to accommodate a floppy drive and it closes to accommodate a battery, which is actually quite clever. Hang on a minute, I'll if I show you the battery, which actually still holds a charge. You know, I'm quite impressed. So the battery can actually slide in to there without any problems at all. This is the... I found out that this uses the same shell as... this machine actually seems to use the same shell as the Compaq ProSignia. Now I'm not too sure which model that Brandon Bishop had, but the ProSignia was basically, it was a 98 laptop, and do you know what, I've probably gone and upset this by hot swap it. Yes, I actually have. I've upset it. That's fine. That'll be fine. I actually found it. Well, the ProSignia is basically, it looks like this, and I think it's quite similarly spec'd, except for it has DVD playback capability as well. I'm not too sure if it can actually play back DVDs if it had the DVD hardware installed. But I know that, you know, I know that the drive was there, and Brandon Bishop reckoned it was reading dated DVD discs, which, as he rightly pointed out, weren't around at the time. You know, everything was still pretty much on CD-ROMs. Okay, so like I said, I've went and installed Windows 98 on this. For some reason, I thought the 1750 was kind of a Pentium 1 era machine, you know, Windows 95 era, but it turns out I was wrong. And while this isn't the ProSignia, it still seems like a pretty top-end laptop. You know, and everything on it, it works really quite well. So, you know, I'm really quite pleased with it. A couple of issues I have had, though, is I have had problems with intermittent blue screening out at shutdown that seem to be exacerbated when I plug in this 3 MHz E574B Ethernet card into one of the PC card slots. Also, the CD drive's not read some of my CDs as well as I would have liked it to, but I think it was only the one disc that it didn't read, my front page 98 disc. But I was able to sort that by plugging in the the external CD drive that I have. So let's have a look at some of the stuff I've got on here. So I've got carbon copy support. Now I don't know what it does. All I know is I found it on Compaq's website. Compaq Carbon Copy 32, the special version is designed for use by Compaq support technicians only. You may be asked to run this. Why did I install that? Oh well, I'm running it anyway because I am a support technician. You have not selected any device to wait for a call on. Please select one or more on the following screen. Oh, it must be something to do with the remote access. Pretty clever that. Do you know, I must admit, remote sessions, you know, they were around in the 90s, but as far as I'm aware, it wasn't really that big of a deal for support technicians to actually use that. I mean, it's, you know, if you ring computer support nowadays, they will more often than not actually remote into your computer. Whereas, you know, personally, my company is kind of the older school, as in you'd bring your computer to me and I would actually physically look at the computer. As much as I like the idea of remote assistance, you know, and it is good, you know, you can be, you know, they can literally be doing an on-site repair without ever having to leave the office. It's brilliant. But I think sometimes you have to see a computer to be able to get the big picture, because, I mean, you could be, you know, configuring it, barking up completely the wrong tree without ever knowing, you know, what's wrong with it. And to be honest, you can't really access things like the BIOS or things like that. I don't understand really, I don't know. I don't really understand how you could access the BIOS remotely. As far as I was aware, you can't. So I don't know, I prefer to bring in computers. Anyway, let's have a look. So I've got a few things on here. I did say in my last video this has a pretty impressive graphics card for the day. So basically what I did with this is I made this computer be configured as I might have configured it, you know, back in 2001, you know, when I had the 2001 custom built. Apart from the fact that I didn't have a copy of KidPix there, there's Click and Play. You know, just in case I fancy going back to the old days, making a couple of Click and Play games. There's even Lotus Smart Suite 97. Let's have a look at that. Now, Lotus, for those of you who don't know, you know, for those of you who might, you know, your idea of an antique might be Windows Vista. Lotus was very big in the 1980s with its spreadsheet software. And, you know, it was a well-known name. Even into the 90s, when, to be honest, you know, in the graphical era, I do believe Lotus was surpassed by Microsoft Office. IBM used to still put it onto their machines, and you know, sometimes you would see it put onto different people's computers, and a lot of people had it. Now, originally Lotus they only made spreadsheet software originally. Obviously, this is the 97 version of Lotus 123. But you know, back in its heyday, it was, you know, it was the spreadsheet program of choice. Basically took over where VisiCalc kind of left off. Now, Lotus is still around today. You can actually get an integrated suite called Lotus Symphony. And if you absolutely have to have Lotus in your life, good news for you, Lotus Symphony is actually free to download and is available on Windows and I do believe OS X as well, Mac OS. So, you know, if you want to see where Lotus has gone, there you are. However, you know, it's pretty much unheard of today. There's Microsoft Image Composer. I think it's a basic. Well, it's a step up from Paint. I know that much. But I can't decide whether it's a bitmap or a vector tool. I think actually it's a vector tool, vector-based drawing. Vector-based drawings are scalable, and you don't ever generally tend to lose any of the acuity. It doesn't become pixelated. Whereas bitmaps do. Now, talking of bitmapped pictures, there's PaintShop Pro 5. I would have had that on any given system. PaintShop Pro, again, it's still around to this day. but it's no longer shareware. It's actually become, if you want the free version, it's actually a time-limited demo. You've got to buy it. But this is pretty good, actually, as PaintShop Pro. If you wanted to do some basic image editing, I did used to like it. The PaintShop Pro, well, basically anything PaintShop Pro 1 to 6 was, usually quite light. In fact, PaintShop Pro, I remember, PaintShop Pro 4 was very compact program, but it didn't have support for layers as far as I remember. But PaintShop Pro 5 is pretty good, basic image editor, and I actually use it for capturing screenshots. I actually have PaintShop Pro 3 on the Toshiba 2130 CS for doing just that. Then there's QuickTime 4, was WinRAR. Adobe Reader 5.0 is what I would have had I had the hard disk space. What I actually had in 2001, because the 2001 custom built only had an 854 megabyte hard disk retrieved from a 486 era machine. And originally, until I upgraded it to a 60 gig, so I had to really economise, because the machine ran Windows 98. It was a 633 Celeron, and we built it on the cheap, really. So I had to really economise with my disk space. So basically that meant that, the freeware programs, of which, I'd have several versions, I had to really, dial it back. Whereas I would have wanted Adobe Reader 5, it would have had to have been Adobe Reader 3 instead. And, Adobe Reader 5 is still good, I think, to this day. It's very lightweight. When we got to version 6, it just became elephantware. I mean, it took years to load up. 7 was slightly better, but 8 was, back to how it was. And to be honest, now, I just see it as quite a big program. We have Microsoft Word 97. In fact, we've got the whole gamut of Office programs. Well, when I say the whole gamut, we do have quite a lot. There's Microsoft Access, Binder, Excel, Front Page, Outlook 98, Photo Editor, PowerPoint, Publisher 98, Microsoft Word, and if you're wondering what Microsoft Outlook Newsreader is, it's basically just Outlook Express with a fancy name. So, let's test these amazing graphics by playing a game which really doesn't require it. Obviously, being an active matrix. Oh, thank goodness. There are volume knobs on the side. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Welcome to Springfield. I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me as town spokesman for such computer travel guides as Fredonia, Gateway to Wichita, and Fairbanks Needs Women. Of course, we all know Springfield for its award-winning dandelions and as birthplace of the glove compartment. But that's merely scratching the surface of a place the great Calvin Coolidge once labeled a pea-sized town with lima bean-sized dreams. So warm up your clicking finger and let's explore a land the poets call Springfield, USA.
It's a wee bit glitchy, if I'm honest, on here.
Welcome to Springfield.
Alright, put a socking at you. So basically this is Virtual Springfield. In this game,
look at me, girls.
you can basically go around Springfield And I think there is a point you've got to, you know, I mean, there is an object you can actually collect. Got to collect lots of things, and I love it, you know.
Doily boy.
Alright. You can collect lots of things and then go to the Stonecutters Club. And this came out in, I think, 1996. So bearing that in mind, you know, if you kind of grew up in the 90s like I did, very nice, then you'll recognise a lot of the cues of Simpsons episodes.
Whoa, I guess they don't have deodorant on the planet Freakazoid.
No, they don't actually. Would you believe it? So you've got kind of cues from, I'm going to say, Simpsons series kind of 1 to probably 6, 7, or, you know. Let me think actually. Which season did the Stonecutters Club in? It's Noiseland Arcade. Let's see if I can go to the Quickie Mart. I really don't think this CD drive runs as well as it could, and it really actually makes for quite sluggish gameplay.
Kind shopper to my humble store. Please keep your hands where I can see them, or I shall dance upon your bullet-riddled carcass.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Warm welcome. I think I'm going to go.
Come again.
Yeah. Apu, thank you, come again. Like one of my favourite lines is from the Simpsons episode Homer the Heretic in season 4, where Homer's bad mouthing Apu's religion, and Apu's like, Mr. Simpson, please pay for your purchases and then get out and come again. Ah, yes, the Simpsons house.
Howdy, neighbor. How's the mowing going?
Can't talk mowing. Pizza guy. Hello, pizza guy. Stop! I got the pizza guy. Well, you might as well come in and look around. Just watch out for the boy. Turn your back on him for 2 seconds and you'll regret it.
Babies today got it easy. In my day, we used babies for furniture. That wasn't hats. No, we used hats for furniture. It makes no difference to me.
So it's quite good actually, because you can actually go round.
Dub. Thanks for the grub. Amen.
You can actually go round and click on various things. So it's like, you know, if you click on, won't let me click on it.
Ugh, Brussels sprouts. Just think of them as little cabbages.
Marge as ever with their useful advice. You can click on various things. It kind of reminds me of the Living Book series. It's like, you know, you click on the microwave, the kind of wacky stuff starts to happen. The mouse went in the microwave, and if you see... And you get a
Now I've seen everything.
kind of get wise cracks from Marge. You can kind of unroll all the paper towels.
Now I've seen everything.
You can root through the cupboard, so you've got like... I've never seen that Krusty the Clown cup, I don't think. We'll probably have. And if we go into the fridge, we can actually see, what's this? Cesspool, the Cesspool in the Potomac essay that Lisa Simpson wrote in the season 3 episode where they went to Washington. I'm just trying to think, no different types of duff. I'm just trying to think actually, because I'm pretty sure that I've seen the Forbidden Donut from the House of Horrors Halloween special 4 in season 5. Hang on, what is it? Is it, there's Maggie. Let's see if I can actually. TV.
My day, we listened to the radio and had to imagine the rest. Like that show with the Irish lady. Amos and Andy it was.
Amos and Andy. Let's have a look. I can put the TV on. Night Boat.
This is on high in the sky.
Not really in the sky anymore.
Hi, everybody.
Dot.
Schools with the deadly lunch meat.
If you go to
Ay, mi trasero está en fuego. Ay. Isotopes move on. Why can't God be
the Isotopes have lost again. You've got a couple of games like on here where you can actually throw water bombs, and there's another one in the Flanders' house where you can spray things with holy water. I'm just trying to think actually. If you go to the Krusty U Studios, you can actually watch. There's a couple of episodes of Itchy and Scratchy. If you go to the viewing room, it kind of lets you watch. So I mean, I don't know. I don't understand what these people are doing here, but I mean, it's good for the game. So you've got. Let's see if I can launch one at Martin.
You've ruined my loot.
There we go.
Go! Go!
Shoot is free again. Shoot is
I'm going to see if I can clean out the CD-ROM drive using some CD laser lens cleaner.
Mom!
Oh, that did it fine. Nelson's poetic when you... I like... Oops.
Hey! Tastes like bacon.
They're playing the joke of Chief Wiggum being a pig. I like Nelson's response. There we go.
I've lived by the sword. I died by the sword.
Poetic in defeat. So let's exit out of this. I love it. Okie dokie. So it's a pretty good game if you're on a machine that works properly, which I'm guessing at the moment this one doesn't, but I'm going to do what I can to kind of fix the optical drive on it. But like I said, I mean, the floppy drive has done its usual typical Compaq thing and just stopped working. But yeah, so this has kind of been a wee look at this particular Compaq Armada. You know, I do like it. I mean, I'm not too sure how I feel about these the screen bezel, the kind of edges around it. Because I don't know, it kind of makes it look like, you know, a childish kind of machine. I mean, it would be good for kids, you know, what with the multimedia, it really does well at multimedia, because it's got the good graphics card that I've not really shown you the full capabilities of. I'll tell you what else it does have, actually, before I do go. I probably should show off DOS mode, real mode. It's pretty much the same as on the Armada 7750 MT. Basically what happens is it will shut your computer down. In fact, it'll reboot the machine. And it will boot it into real mode DOS. And while doing so, it will actually prepare some drivers. So it'll have CD-ROM extensions, you'll have mouse drivers, and you'll even have sound drivers. So Windows 98 is now starting your MS-DOS-based program. Some programs actually, it's a wee bit unfortunate, but some programs do not like being run under DOS 7.1, which runs under Windows 98. So I guess this would be most effective under Windows 95A. A lot of programs don't mind running under DOS 7.0. I don't know if it's a file system thing, because DOS 7.0 only supports FAT16 or what, but I mean, it's pretty good actually, is this. I know for a fact if you tried to run Windows 3.1 under here, it just will not run. Okay, so why don't we install PGA Golf? This is a staple that I play. I wonder if this has an install program. Will it run from the CD? So, yeah, as you can possibly tell, this it doesn't take advantage of the sound drivers. In fact, why don't we see if it can? No, it's pretty much a PC speaker only thing. You know, it is a very basic game. But we're on the putting green now, and it's my chance to show off how truly bad at this I am. I do like this game, you know, even though it is a wee bit simple. Oh my goodness, I got to look out for wind direction, I really do. You know, I mean, that should have been a hole-in-one, so, you know, I'm probably super bogey. Hang on, CD. Let's have a look at all the folders. Let's have a look at S-House, I think. Okay, so let's set up The Simpsons. So, what we're going to do is, first of all, I need to actually check to see if that is a... Well, hopefully it should work as a Sound Blaster card. I'm going to install from drive D to drive C, :/Simpsons, and then away it goes. Some DOS games don't have an installer, like the golf game. Basically, you just kind of load it on. Either you run it from a floppy or you load it on by manually copying all the files over. Okay, so that's installed. So I wonder. That's not. Hang on, let's. Do you know what? Sorted it out. I get the feeling that this is coming out the PC speaker. I kind of play this game. So this not doing so well, actually. Have I ended up in Mr. Barnes's house? I don't know how to play this. Okie dokie. Again with the okie dokie. So, there we go. So this has been a wee look. Oh yeah, obviously, if you want to go back to Windows, you simply just type exit, and then what happens is Rail Mode DOS actually exits, and your computer will actually restart. And go back into Windows. Sounds pretty good. It's a good thing to have, actually. It's just a shame more computer manufacturers didn't put that in, because, you know, I really do like that. It actually makes, you know, it just makes MS-DOS a lot more usable. So, you know, points to Compaq for actually implementing that. So yeah, this has actually been a look at the Compaq Armada. 1750. Thank you for watching this video. I hope my friend Billy Corr gets his soon. Because, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his take on this machine, because it is a fantastic machine to have. It can do a lot of things. You know, and, you know, with Windows 2000 running on it, I wouldn't advise it on a 333, but 300, but it can do it, and you can go online with it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Compaq Armada 1750. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Instructions on how to do so will follow.